Let's speak now to Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada in Kuala Lumpur. He's a professor of international economics at the Vizja University in Poland. Professor, welcome back to the program. Firstly, how big of a blow are these new tariffs to Brazil?
Okay, I can see that this situation of increment of the tariff is more political than international trade. I think the agenda, political agenda of United States is to impose the right-hand parties in all Latin America. But you need to remember that in Brazil, the left party is who dominate now the government. And then this one has kind of no good relationship. I think this increment of the tariff is going to affect severely the Brazil economy. In addition, it's going to generate a high inflation and unemployment in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. I think what I explain always, the tariff become a manipulation and trying to manipulate politically more than international trade between the relationship between Brazil and the United States. And this is what I can see very clearly. Of course, the United States and not depend so highly on Brazilian products, but Brazil depends highly on international trade from machines and technology from United States. This one may be more difficult for Brazil. And also we need to mention the exchange rate have high hit, and the export, logically the exchange rate of Brazil is going to drop and it's going to have depreciation of the currency.
So which industries will see the biggest impact?
Okay, I think in the manufacturing sector more than heavy industry. You know, United States very high protected his heavy industries. More of them is manufacturing, for example, shoes, furniture, or raw material from Brazil to United States. But one more thing I can see very clearly that all these generating this international trade distortion. What is this terminology? Is when it's no increase the trade, is cutting the export and import both sides, because it's going to have a kind of international trade war between United States and Brazil. But what I explained before is more political than economic reasons behind. This is my perception.
And Trump's presidency has become synonymous with trade tariffs. Just last week, he hit 60 trading partners with levies ranging from 10 to 12.5%. How much further can he keep this going without ultimately losing these partnerships?
Oh, of course, you can see now that why United States have this high tariff is because they need income, they need tax. And the idea is that the United States economy is not doing so well, that they supposedly expect that make America great again, but it's not doing well the American economy. And then a tariff is part of how to generate more income. And remember, the Iran-United States conflict is generating a very high spending of the government and generating a very negative impact on the American economy. Tariff, what I explain always, is increase the price of all the products for the American consumers, not the producers or who's selling the products. And additionally, it's generating a high unemployment if in the sense that the income per capita of the United States is dropping logically, because we know tariff is an import tax and it's generating a negative impact in the consumption of the United States.
And what about the broader Latin American region? Do most of those countries seem safe for now from higher tariffs?
I tell you, tariff is generating always negative impact in any economy. Nobody is winning, nobody is losing. We assume that we encourage free trade is generating low prices, but in the moment we have tariff, the price is moving up and immediately generating inflation for both sides, not only Brazil, also United States. But who pay the final price is the consumers. They are the people who really pay the last cost of everything in this world trade, and it's generating a very negative impact in both economies. I'm not talking only Brazil, it's also the American consumers. And then always I said tariff is a barrier to really damage both economies. Don't care how much percentage, but the main point is this go to the final price of the final consumer in the United States and also Brazil. Nobody get benefit. Who get the final impact is the final consumer for both sides.
Professor Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you.